Hello, my dears. And we're back. I separate these out so they're shorter videos, but but it's fun to do a little piece and then get to connect with you live. I love it. It's a highlight for me every week. So I have a few questions. Hello! Yay! I have a few questions to answer that people sent in previously. Upbeat Buddha TV asked, what camera do I use on YouTube? And right now I'm using my iPhone, which is a 6, 7. Hello, Leia. Yay. But older videos are my ancient Vixia, like Canon Vixia thing. Hi, Abby. Hi, Zach. Absolutely, Zach. Remind me if I forget to talk about frequencies. Yeah, so it's definitely time for an upgrade. And I wish there was a way that I could use this and have the good side of the camera, but then I can't see what you're saying, and that wouldn't work. Hi, Edward and Aunt Thomas. Peter Burns says, Amy, what was it that brought you to out to Oz to study, and why Wollongong? So, Aussie, if there's any Aussies out there. Yeah, so I did go to Australia to study acting and singing in the university at Wollongong Uni. Hey, Peter! Yay! G'day. And you know, it was a time when suddenly all of these amazing Australians burst onto the scene here in the US. I mean, there had been, of course, many. There'd been, Nicole Kidman and all, but Baz Luhrmann came on in a huge way, and Hugh Jackman and Naomi Watts, and suddenly I went, oh, there's something going on in Australia. And I'd always loved, I'd loved Strictly Ballroom, I'd loved Australian humour and accent and being really curious. I wanted to study abroad, and I knew that I would go to London another time, but I just looked into it and found some programs, and that looked like something that was really well-rounded and close to Sydney, but in the rainforest and on the coast. It's a pretty magical place. So, tips on being vegan? Yes, absolutely. So, number one, awesome that you're even interested in it, because it is the best thing you can do for the planet. Somebody else was asking what you can do to reduce your carbon footprint. That's the number one thing. The number one pollutant on this planet is more than cars is the livestock industry. So that's amazing. So anyway, that is one thing that you can do for the planet. And then for your body, it's amazing because a lot of, a lot of the food that's out there has been really processed, and the wheat and thing. Well, I guess you can still be vegan and not have, have wheat and stuff. Maybe it works for you. But there are a lot of health issues associated with meat and dairy and things. So, and it might be something, food is tricky because you might not be aware that the reason why you're tired or the reason why you have kind of a slump, or I know somebody who even has back pain when he eats meat. So like there can be certain things that you don't even realize they're related, but they are. So one tip is to look and see what's out there, see what recipes there are, see what you already do eat that's vegan, and then maybe expound upon that. You're going to go vegetarian firstly because you're already gluten-free, and then go vegan. Absolutely, ease into it. That's what I did too, for sure. I became a vegetarian when I was 11, and then when I was about 21 or 2, dairy started to not work so well, and I grew up eating everything. But dairy started to not work so well, and then gluten, and then I just, the muscle testing thing that QnA was just teaching you, I honestly, that has helped me so much to determine what is it that my body, because sometimes it's really hard to tell what's going on and like why I feel a certain way. And, I was taking dairy pills for a while because I wanted to eat dairy. I didn't want to not have ice cream, but my body couldn't process it. And so I was taking pills to try and process this thing that my body couldn't process. Whereas there are amazing things that my body does process beautifully that always taste good to me. And so as long as I focus on the fact that I flipping love everything that I eat and it's beautiful and it tastes so good, then I don't focus so much on like, oh, I can't have that, then I'm super happy with it. I mean, coconut bliss, y'all, you don't get more creamy and amazing than coconut bliss. That is a fabulous vegan coconut-based ice cream. There's a lot of stuff out there now too in most countries. Cashews are super, they cream up like nothing. They're amazing. And get a really good blender because I like creamy things. Are you able to talk about that game you're involved in? And I'd love to hear you sing. So, which game that I'm involved in? I am in several. I'm in Hearthstone, which is super fun. I'm in Heroes of the Storm, which is super fun. I'm not allowed to say another one that I love that takes me different places around the world, but if you look hard enough, you'll totally find out what that is. Yeah, no, I'm not. Sorry, but I love it. If you look for me in Sydney, you will figure it out. It's a great game. Very cool game. Yes, that must be it. You know the game. It's super cool. Let me see what the other questions were that I had here because I want to get to them. What brought you to us? How do you get rid of... let's see. I already did that one. Well, there's a question of how do you get rid of a terrible feeling that comes from being in love with someone you can't have. I have good experience with this one. Yeah. You know, feel the feelings, for sure. Honor them. They're there for a purpose. And what helps me is to really know and trust, and I do. And sometimes it has to be the brain first telling the rest of me. But the truth is, I know I'm not, well, in my belief system, there is somebody out there who I'm meant to be with. And I do feel called to have kids and have a family, and there's somebody out there who I'm meant to do all of those things with, I believe, who is like my divine match. And I believe that. So, you know, if you don't believe that, feel free to let it go. But for me and for anybody who does believe that, I know that I won't be truly happy with anyone other than that person. So if I think that I'm going to be happy with this person and I'm just like holding on and please make it so, then I'm not trusting that the universe has a bigger view than I do. And that's true of the other person too. You know, if they wouldn't really be happy with, you know, if we're not really the match. Plus, there's all this stuff, and I did another video about it, but there's all this stuff about like the one. I don't believe in the one. I believe that there are, you know, everyone I've been with has been just what I needed for then, you know. Every man has been, I've learned so much through it. You know, they've all been amazing. And it's helped me to grow. Those relationships have helped me to grow into my capacity to be a loving being on the planet, to feel those resonances, because each time it gets better. It just keeps getting better. So that's what helps. Mr. Right Now, so to speak. Well, it's Mr. Right now. It's both. Or Mrs. or Ms. or they. The person who is exactly right. And just to honor that, we have this strange thing where we think that when a relationship ends, which it will at some point, you know, even if you both die on the same day, at that point, you're not married anymore. So we know that it's going to end at some point. And to think of it as a failure just because it shifts form into friends or into whatever, I think does a disservice to the fact that this beautiful gift came in to help me not just grow, but also enjoy. Enjoy. How do you not become overwhelmed with emotions? That's a great question. Sometimes I am overwhelmed with emotions, and so I will notice that because I'm not going to do anything very effectively if I'm overwhelmed. I'm not. And if I try and push through it, I'm not going to be responding in my best way. So I've cultivated, for me, meditating. It might just be 2 minutes. But especially if you're really feeling a lot, and that goes for joy too. If you're really feeling a lot of sadness or you're really feeling a lot of something and you don't even know what it is. I was just talking about this last night. It helps me to just, if you can, even if you're going into the cubicle of a bathroom at work or something, take a moment and just breathe. Have your spine really straight. And just ask gently, what's going on? Because emotions are just asking you to pay attention to something. So if I say, okay, what is it that what am I trying to avoid paying attention to? And it'll tell you right away. I'm sad. And if you can, just go into it, because it's gonna wait there for you until you do. So if you're at a place where you can't go into it right then, at least identifying what it is and put in your calendar, make a plan for when you're gonna do that processing, because it'll stay there and affect everything until you do. Do I know this from personal experience? Yes. Then I have other videos too about this, but then feeling what that is, looking at the deeper belief or whatever it's trying to tell me, and just keep asking. And in a meditation practice is really the way to go, because otherwise my brain is trying to figure it out and it's trying to save me from feeling these emotions that it can't save me from, because they'll stay there until I can feel them and get to know what they're telling me and then release that. Is that answer? I'm very well. Thank you, Ali. How are you? How not to fall in love with someone? Well, I don't know. I think fall. Maybe you'll fall in love with another person or another person. Like, falling in love is an incredible state of being. And as long as I keep grounded in it, and as long as I honor it for, well, I'm feeling this amazing feeling right now. I need to be unattached to what I think that means. Like, I think that means this, and that with this particular person. Doesn't necessarily mean that. But it's still an amazing sensation in your body to be feeling that much love. And so when I can ground it in my meditation, when I can share it up, I had one the other day. I was feeling so much in loveness and just with the universe and with the moment and with a lot of wonderfulness. I had to just ground that, and it was on July 4th actually, and send it up into the universe as a sparkler. I was like, I am a sparkler. Let me just beam this out as a blessing. I send it to all you guys. I do. I totally do. Specifically. And then I send it to the world. But that was the answer to some question. Oh, how do you not fall in love? Yeah, I think just fall. And there have been times when I knew that I had no idea what the other person felt about me, and I could not be attached to outcome about that as much as I tried, and I had to keep releasing outcome to that. But I just went, you know what? I'm in love. I'm just going to be in love and be okay with that and be checking in with how I'm acting and make sure that I'm grounded in that and not just like spinning in that place, because that's not my best state of being. My best state of being to work with the world is calm. So I'll feel the emotions until I can get calm by working with what they bring up for me. I think, oh no, there was something else. Oh, somebody asked. Yeah, okay, and I'll get to the frequencies. Somebody asked, I love roller coasters. Somebody asked, do you dream in character? And he asked this a long time ago, so I really want to answer that. So it's different every time, but I have had a time where I was really trying to understand. I was playing Nancy in Oliver, love, love, love that character in play. And I was trying to understand why she would stay in this abusive relationship with Bill, who's a piece of work and not a lovely guy. Pretty hideous. It's like, why would she stay in this relationship? Please help me understand, because this is why I'm doing this. That was why I was doing that role, was let me understand somebody that I don't understand right now. And I had this dream. And what's his name? That incredible actor. What's his name? Help me out. Okay, the actor who was in Amistad, and he's in something beautiful right now. Gorgeous, massive African man. No, that's his character's name. Help me. He's so amazing. What's his name? Anyway, powerful man. Large guy. And I'm 5'2". And in this dream, and I'd never dreamed about him before or since, but in this dream, we were basically those characters, but I mean, we were in love, and he was so tender. Yes, Jimon, thank you. Yeah. So there's this moment, thank you so much, when and it was with love. He hugged me, and he was hugging me so hard, it was crushing me. And I thought, he doesn't know how strong he is. Like, he doesn't know that he's hurting me right now. Gosh, and this was a long time ago. Was it that? There was something where he was just like super emotional, and like it triggered something emotionally, and he wasn't trying to hurt me, but it was hurting me. But I was saying, like, I can't let him know that he's hurting me, because it would hurt him to know that he's hurting me, because he loves me so much. I have to be strong. I have to be the one who's strong enough to stand up to him, because he can't take care of himself. And and not everyone, and it was kind of this like, boy, not everyone can do that, but I can do that, because I know that really he's a tender guy. Any bully inside is a soft shell crab. So that was a huge insight for me, and I woke up and I went, whoa. I mean, there was a lot more to it than that, but I just thought, gosh, I'd never thought of it that way. That was really helpful. Oh, thank you, Abby. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you're learning from my presence in your life, and that's been beneficial to you. Thank you. That's wonderful. All right, y'all. Oh, frequencies. Somebody was asking about frequencies. Was there something particular? Have you ever faced insecurity living in LA? Never. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. That runs in this town. But you know, I came to this town at a time in my life when I was pretty solid in what I offer that's unique, and where I had a really strong meditation practice and spiritual practice, and so I really came to it with, what can I give to this city, and what can I add, and how can I create work for people, and how can I, instead of like, what can I be? I can be what you need, which just come in. I mean, body issues are crazy here. People have incredible bodies. That's a full-time job to have an incredible body. So, yeah, but it helps me to keep going back to, okay, where do I get my validation? Is it externally or is it internally? Fortunately, it's internally. Do you know so many are mesmerized by you? Thoughts? Thank you, Peter. I don't know what that is. And this is long, but somebody was asking about frequencies. Everything is frequency. It's all energy. So the more I can be very specific about what am I aligning to, I mentioned in another video, my mantra is love, 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 love. And I often go back to that. Oh, love, love, love. If I feel like I'm being hard on myself or I'm being tense. Oh, love, love, love. And in my practices, in my meditation practices, and in my writing practices to get to know what the meditations are bringing up, and vice versa, I am intentional about the particular frequencies that I cultivate and strengthen, and those that I'm ready to release because they're not serving me. So I've mentioned it probably every video, but energetic boundaries is going to open your world about frequencies. They're amazing. I feel I would be perfect to play a villain in a Bond film. Villains do have a lot of fun. For me, though, I tend to, I grew up watching Bond films, but I tend to pick projects where it's the message, even if there is violence or villainy, is about looking at why that doesn't work, why that's not beneficial. And there are certainly projects where that is what it's about. But it needs to be, I'm very choosy about if I'm going to play something dark and intense. It has to be with a purpose to highlight why, to highlight another way. So, okay, this is so fun. I will see you next Thursday. I do sincerely hope. And cat girl. And save your questions, send them to us on, or write them in the comments down here, and we'll pull them for next time, or come join me live next Thursday. Much, much love. Vibes to you. Thank you, vibers. I love my vibers. If you see me use this word, I don't like to say fans because I feel like we're connected in this together. And so vibers are people who give good vibes into the world. And so I love to connect with fellow vibers. Yay! We are connected. Thank you.